Hey, I'm gonna let you all in. I'm gonna mute you all. And then wait and see who else comes on.
Okay, I've had a cry.
I'm just posting in the group that we're on. I don't expect to have too many people on. But it is being recorded, so. I forgot I put my contacts in, so I can't wear my regular glasses. I put my readers on. I have a bunch of questions that I'm just gonna roll through, which is what I normally do. And then if time allows and I miss any, then I'll take some from the floor, but pretty much cover everything. I always give it the 5 minutes, so we have 2 minutes. Oh, it's all St. Patty's Day stuff. I didn't even think of that. So the dogs are going to go crazy because Mike is on his way home. So be prepared. Usually happens every Wednesday night. All right, 1 more minute and I'm gonna just run with it. Saturdays are usually challenging anyway for meetings. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. If I see people ready trying to come in, I will just let them in. Okay, so today's Q&A for Shred into Spring. You guys have had, majority of you have had a week in the app, being able to play with your numbers and get comfortable with the app. And I think for the most part, everybody's comfortable with the app, which is great. If somebody asked me a question and I've already answered it in a Zoom, I will say, have you watched the Macros 101 yet? Have you watched the Part B yet? Have you watched the welcome meeting yet? Because those meetings are super important and I have them for you guys, not for me. So if someone says, how do I log running on the treadmill? I don't have my thing synced. I'm going to say, I answer that in the welcome meeting and in Macros Part A. Please make sure you watch the meetings. So if you have not been present at the meetings, and you have not watched the meetings yet, it's super important that you watch or listen to them. You don't have to actually sit in front and watch me. You could just put them on in your car and listen to them as you drive. I listen to podcasts all day long of fitness people. I don't even listen to music in my car. So I know it's doable. So I will put you guys in that position because the meetings are super, super important. Okay. First question for meeting. How often should we be exercising, and are our macros adjusted if exercising more than what we stated at the start? Do they adjust when weight is lost? So I kind of answered this already in one of the meetings, but I'm going to touch on it again because it's two-part. So I can't tell you how often you should be exercising because I don't know your lifestyles. I don't know what you have going on in your day. What I will tell you is what I read the other day. If you are looking to lose 5% of your fat, your body fat, or weight loss, you need to be doing at least 300 minutes of exercise a week. Now, it cannot be all cardio. Cardio will make you soft. If you want to have muscles and you want to be lean, and I'm not saying look like a man muscles, I'm just mean like you look like you are healthy, then you need to not just do only cardio. And if I start to see that, I'm going to call you out on it. I do a free workout every Monday night, 7:15 p.m. on this Zoom with resistance bands. If you cannot get to a gym and you are home at 7:15, you should be on the workout. If you don't have a workout planned, if you don't have workouts in your schedule, it's free. People pay me $60 for 30 minutes to work out with me to personal train. You're getting it for free. I'm going to say it one more time. You're getting it for free. So keep that in mind. Now, if you told me you work out 10 hours a week and you're working out 3, yes, I have to adjust your macros. And I'll get annoyed because I don't like people that lie and I don't like people that fluff up what they do. And if you tell me you're going to work out, I expect you to work out. Of course, if something happens and you can't, I understand that, but I'm not going to change it for 1 week. I have a tooth pulled. I'm not going to work out for this week. That's okay. Just leave it as is. I'm not going to switch it back and forth. But if you tell me you're working out 10 hours a week and I notice consistently you're working out 2 or 3, that's an issue because you're never going to lose weight. Your body will hold on to it. The more you exercise is not the more you lose weight, and the less you eat is definitely not the more you lose body fat. If you starve yourself, your body will hold on to it. So just like with the carbs, if you short yourselves on the carbs and you say, I want to lose weight faster, so I'm going to leave 30 on the table, I'm going to call you on it. Your numbers are science. It's 10 over or 10 under, not 15, not 30, not 18, not 12. So please make sure you guys stick to it. Now 12 might be it, but not 12 over. You could be probably 12 under, but 12 over is almost 50 calories. So you have to just keep that in mind. Would love to discuss eating and options. I'm typically good at home, but traveling for work is very challenging. Any suggestions would be great. If you watched my food at home meeting or food in my kitchen meeting, I give you a lot of travel ideas. We're going to have a meeting about restaurant eating, traveling, going to Disney, all those things, but you're not on a diet. No one is restricted from eating anything at all. So like, I know I'm going out tonight to Winston's for dinner in Winston Trails. It's a restaurant in Lake Worth because they have a band tonight. So I looked on the menu to see what they had. And I made sure that my day-to-day would be able to handle the food I'm eating tonight. I regulated my budget, as I've talked about in previous meetings. So yes, are there things that would make life so much easier, when you're traveling? Of course, all prepackaged stuff is going to make life easier. We all have refrigerators in the hotels now. So, the yogurts and the cottage cheese and the pickles and the like turkey jerky sticks, not beef turkey sticks, but like the turkey jerky sticks they sell. Those are all great options. And that doesn't even have to be refrigerated. Let's see. How do I unsubscribe for a group? Meetup is not for me. I live in Canada. Well, then you should come visit us. Just kidding. So if there's a group that doesn't fit for you, just message me. There are groups I will not take you out of. The first group is the important announcements group, but you guys are not in there yet. You will be in there as of tomorrow. The second group I won't take you out of is the nutrition shout outs, because it is motivation to see other people getting the shout outs. The transformation group, the baddies group. Anything else, if you guys don't want to be in it, just let me know. How did I wait so long to do this and why? I love that question. What do your daily logs look like? If you go in the sample meal plan group that's in our app, I have screenshots of my daily food intake. I eat the same thing every single day. There's a picture of my cooler that I take with me when I leave the house at 4 a.m. and it shows you all the food in there that I put in there before I leave the house. How are you balancing your day when you get up so early in the morning and work 15 to 16 hours? So I pack everything. I don't meal prep because I don't cook, but I will put in my lunchbox 3 pouches of tuna, different flavors, so I'm not bored. I'll take 2 pieces of the Nature's Own live bread, put them in baggies. So if I want to eat a sandwich, I can make it while I'm on the go. I take the turkey breast, I take grilled chicken, I take my egg whites. I put it all in my cooler for the day. So I'm not stuck having to go somewhere to eat. I don't sit home and cook. So people that say they don't cook can't do this. That's not true because I don't sit home and cook. I do super easy meal prep. Can you drink more than half your body weight? Well, you can, but that's gonna be really hard because if you weigh 200 pounds, you're drinking 100 ounces of water. If you could drink more than that, that's amazing. Someone messaged me and I forgot to reply back because I figured I was gonna, not forgot, I knew I was gonna answer it in here. Someone said, well, that means I have to drink 80 ounces of water. Does that mean 8 ounces? I don't care how you drink it. You can drink 80 ounces in one sitting if you want. It doesn't matter if you drink 10 cups of 8. I usually drink, and these are 16 ounces. I usually drink at least 4 or 5 of these a day. And I should be drinking about 73 or 72 ounces of water a day. So 5 would put me at 80. But there's no set way of how you drink your water. It's totally up to you. I take collagen peptides. Do we log that? Sure, you can use that as your proteins. It's not a full protein, but we're also not bodybuilding and competing for a contest. So if you are taking collagen peptides, the vital proteins or any of those, you can use it as some of your proteins. Make sure you log it for sure. It's also a great way to put it in anything because there's no flavor to get additional proteins. So I'll put it in my BCAAs in the morning. I'll put it in my protein shake, depending on what I'm making for the day in my blender cup. I answered this the other day, but I'll answer it again. When reading labels and it has fiber, do we take that off from the total carbs and only use net carbs? No, carb is a carb is a carb. A pound is a pound. 1 carb is 1 carb. I don't care if there's 17 fibers in that one meal. It's still going to have the same amount of carbs in it. If you reach the end of the day and you are below your macros unintentionally, but you are full, do you still need to eat? Isn't your body telling you you're full? Yeah, your body's probably telling you you're full, but you still need to eat because you should have spaced out your food a little bit more so you wouldn't have to eat all that food at the end of the night. Nobody wants to sit and eat 80 carbs at the end of the night. Your body doesn't know what time it is. So for people to say, well, I don't want to eat that before I go to bed, as long as they're clean carbs, your body doesn't know that it's going to sleep. Your metabolism doesn't know it's going to sleep. So yes, you pretty much need to get it all in, which is why I tell you guys to separate it out evenly throughout the day, divide it up, whatever it is, and try to get it in throughout the day. So you're not sitting there at the end of the night. There are some times when I'm super, super busy. I actually give lectures at Palm Beach State College on nutrition and daily intake and all that stuff. And if I'm there and I'm there for a full day giving lectures, then I don't get my food in. I leave and start eating in my car and just eat all the way home, continue eating while Mike is cooking dinner, even though I know I'm going to be eating dinner. And after dinner, if I have anything left, I continue eating my macros because I know I have to get it in, but I was lecturing or, doing a conference for a couple hours and I wasn't able to do it to get my food in. What is the best way to track food if it's not scanning or can't be scanned? Pick the best item that looks the best to you. If you're using MyFitnessPal and it doesn't have that certified check mark, green check mark, don't use it. That means somebody else entered it. It could be Heather Cooper having a shitty day and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to log this apple and only put that it had 3 fats. And then now you see that because she logged it. But you don't want to use that. You want to use the ones that have been already confirmed that are correct through MyFitnessPal. So always the green little check mark, metal. No, it looks like it's just, you could tell it's different than the other things. If it's something like, I don't even know. If you have something that you know has a lot of carbs in it, but the only thing you can find is like a minimal amount of carbs, message me and I'll help you figure out what it is. Also, if you're eating a burger or you're eating grilled cheese because you're out, or you're eating a BLT while you're out, or you're eating anything while you're out and you cannot find it, you're going to break it down. 1 piece of bacon, 2 pieces of bread, a tablespoon of mayo, whatever it is that went into the sandwich, whatever that went into the burger that you ate. Don't be afraid to ask the restaurant, how many ounces of beef is this? What kind of meat is this? It's your right to know. You know, if they tell you that it's, they use a ribeye for their burgers, you know it's going to be a fatty meat. So you want to just keep that in mind. When you order from Chinese restaurants, you need to make sure you want white meat if you're ordering chicken, because they'll give you the dark meat. You can ask them for just white meat if you get the chicken and broccoli, which is what I do. Tracking alcohol, I just want to go over that again as well. When you are tracking alcohol, and if you scan a Truly or any of those things, or you try to scan your Kim Crawford, it's going to be incorrect. You have to make your own entry and you have to divide it by 4 or 9, the calories, depending on if you're using your carb or your fats. You just got to wait like 3 minutes and then he'll be in the door. So if your thing is 70 calories, like a glass of wine, let's say 70 calories, you need to divide it by 4 if you're planning on using carbs, or 9 if you plan on using your fats. And then you have to make an entry for that. Habits, are they important? Yes, habits are the cornerstone of changing your lifestyle. So getting your steps in, drinking your water. If you guys follow me on social media, I always post when I'm getting my steps in, and I don't get 10,000, I get 18,000 steps in a day. And I usually have to force myself to get on a treadmill or walk outside to get the rest of my steps in. If you've always done 10, you need to go to 12. If you've always done 12, you need to bump yourself up. What you don't change will not change. So that's why I'm up to 18,000 steps a day. Do I always get it? No, I get between 15 and 18, but I strive for it. And the same thing you guys should do. If you're at 995 or 9632, don't call it a day. Walk, get those last steps in, get your 10,000 in. If we've lowered it, then you really need to go to what we lowered it to, because the health department standard is 10,000 steps a day. The health department doesn't care if you sit at a desk all day. They still want you to be healthy. So you still need to get those in. Q&A. If you hit your protein, carbs, and fats within the 10, but you still have calories, are you okay? Should I worry about calories when everything else is good? We don't count calories, so you don't have to worry about that. Sometimes your calories might be over. If you do 10 over your proteins and 10 over your carbs and 6 over fats, your calories are going to be over, but you're still within the line of the 10, 10, 6. So that's what we're really focused on. We're not focused on your calories. We are not looking at our numbers in MyFitnessPal or Fitbit. You're only looking at the numbers on your dashboard in my app. So if you message me and say, I don't understand, in MyFitnessPal, it said that I was right on, but in yours, it says I'm over. Well, then you got to go by what mine said, because your numbers are not always the same in MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is a boxed program. My app, I customize your macros for you specifically. Did you put Flash's food back down? Okay. Another question. Is tofu an ideal protein, or is chicken or tuna better? There is no ideal protein. It's what you like. I don't eat tofu, but you might love tofu. You might not eat any kind of seafood, but you might love steak. I don't eat red meat. So it's up to you what you like to eat, what you prefer to eat. And like we talked about the other day, there's so many different cheat sheets to help you figure out leanest, lean, and not so lean proteins to help you hit your numbers. Should we buy a scale or something to measure food? So I always say yes, because it'll teach you what food looks like when you have a quantity, but I don't want you to rely on it. Like Danielle, who's not in it right now, but she's in the group right now, but she's not in this meeting right now. She takes her scale on vacations with her. You don't have to do that. There's a cheat sheet that you can use your hands to figure out what your ounces and all that. But if you start doing it now, you'll start to learn, oh yeah, that's what that looks like. Oh yeah, it's about 6 strawberries. Oh, it's about 25 blueberries. And that will help you go along with it, because you're gonna be doing this for the rest of your life. You don't want to take a scale with you everywhere for the rest of your life. I've been doing it for 15 years. I don't take a scale anywhere. Do we log our vitamins? No, and not unless they are gummy vitamins, and gummy vitamins must be logged because they are carbs. So I usually take about 40 grams of carbs of vitamins at night. I take sleepy gummies, collagen gummies, sugar bear hair gummies, apple cider vinegar gummies, and immune gummies, like the vitamin C emergency gummies, whatever those are. So I've counted it out, and I take 40 grams of carbs every night in gummies. So I put that first thing in my app in the morning, so I don't have to worry about it at night. Can we add salt? Salt is your friend. There's nothing wrong with salt. Unless you are told that you retain water and your doctor put you on a water pill, you need salt in your diet. You need salt to sweat. And if you're drinking half your body weight in water, salt is fine. It's not bad for you. Honey is a better choice to sweeten stuff versus Splenda, stevia, Truvia. But if you don't like honey, I do not like honey, but I don't sweeten anything either. So applesauce is a great thing. Unsweetened applesauce will also sweeten stuff for you if you're cooking. Is it okay to use protein supplements to hit your proteins? More than likely, you're going to have to, which is okay. It's not a bad thing to have a protein supplement. It could be a shake, it could be a bar, whatever you need. I do one protein shake that has 40 grams of protein, and I do usually a Built Bar, Puff, or regular bar, which has usually anywhere between 12 and 18, depending on what I eat. And that's part of my carbs. So that's 58 of my proteins a day. Can you give me some good ideas of fiber options? Well, there's a cheat sheet, but I'll give you some. Apples, strawberries, raspberries, squash, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and carrots. Those are all great fiber options. If you start to feel like you're getting bloated or you're stopped up, you can't go to the bathroom. Can I still go out to eat? Yes. But you want to look and see what's in your budget, what you can eat. And we're going to actually have a restaurant meeting, how to go out. There is one posted now. So if you want to read it or watch it, you can go right on YouTube, and it says eating out. And I talk about it, but I'm going to do it again. I usually do all the meetings over again. Does the quality of food matter if I hit my macros targets? And yes. But there's no good or bad foods. I always tell this story. There's a sheriff that's in our group, and she's done amazing in the group. But when she first started, she was having a hard time hitting her carbs. So at night, she would have a glass of wine to help her hit her carbs. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm not judging or anything. I'm like, but are you drinking every single night? And she said, yeah, it's the only way I can hit my carbs. And I was like, well, you're going to be leaving these meetings and going to AA if you keep doing that. I said, so you need to stop and figure out a different way to get your carbs in. So she started eating rice cakes and other things, but don't run this program like if IIFYM, if it fits your macros, because you're not going to learn how to eat properly if you do it that way. If you're using Twizzlers and Pop-Tarts and all that sugary crap to hit your carbs, then you're going to have a more of an issue at the end, because now you're eating bad foods. You're not eating foods that are healthy for you. So you really want to put that in perspective. Go higher volume. Higher volume foods will keep you feeling more satiated. The broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, those will fill you up more. Any proteins will fill you up, which is why you eat protein with carbs every meal. Let's see what other questions I have. So now I do have questions more, but I wanted to go over some mistakes that I have written down also. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to go over that. So macros mistake number one, your tracking estimations are not on point. So if you're continually saying, oh, this is only a quarter of a cup and it's really a half a cup and you're not measuring, that's the number one mistake. Or this looks like it's 4 ounces and it's only 2 or 3. Which is where the scale comes in, or message me and ask me. Using estimates, using estimations when you're counting macros will make your life simpler, but you really have to decide, am I over or underestimating with my estimating, and is it intentional? Because if you're always underestimating because you want more, and you're like, oh, it's really only 4 ounces, but you know it's 5, you're sabotaging yourself. Usually a pound of any lean meat is 100 grams of protein. So 8 ounces of any kind of lean meat would be 50 grams of protein. So if you're eating 8 ounces of any kind of meat, protein at a meal, I'm not, when I say meat, I don't mean red meat because I don't eat red meat. I mean, it could be chicken, tuna, whatever you eat. So you want to be more diligent in your estimating. Let's see. Eyeballing or guessing what a pound is will be one of the issues you'll have. Deciding that something is lean when it's really not, like ribeye is not lean. So don't guess and think, oh, I'm going to use this lean beef. It's not. Dark meat is not lean protein from chicken. White meat is. Thinking that avocados is a freebie because it's a fruit. We don't have freebies. Avocado's fat. Good fats. I love avocado toast. And if you put an egg white on top of avocado toast, you have your protein, you have your carb, and you have your fats all in one meal right there. If you find yourself, you are doing that, like guessing, then weigh your food and track everything that you weigh, exactly what you weigh. Let's see. Mistake number 2 is you're only using your scale for progress. You're not using the pictures that we take. You're not using the clothing that you're wearing. You're not taking measurements, because when you track macros, the scale may not move. Muscle and fat weigh exactly the same. You'll hear people say muscle weighs more than fat. It's bullshit. A pound is a pound. If you have a pound of muscle and you have a pound of fat, they weigh exactly the same. But this is a pound of fat and this is a pound of muscle. So if you lose a pound or gain a pound, your body is still going to change, because you're going into this way, not this way. So your clothes are going to fit better. Your pictures are going to look different. And that's why we take pictures every other week. If you haven't counted your macros, if you've been diligent in counting your macros for 3 weeks and the scale hasn't budged, that does not mean that you're not losing body fat. Because once again, it's the scale measures your muscle as well. So I would say take measurements, look at your pictures. Let's see what else I have here. The scale doesn't account for muscle gain, weight, or water bloat. So if you have something salty on Monday night for dinner, you wake up Monday morning to take your photos, you still could be retaining water. Hormonal fluctuations, perimenopause, menopause, going through your cycle, just starting your cycle. You haven't emptied your bowels. So definitely remember the scale sucks. So if you have an in-body, that's better, but the pictures are going to be the tell-all, 100%. Let me go to my next one. So this is kind of like a mistake, but it's also a myth or something that you guys should not do. I had a really great week. I weighed in on Friday for my weekend accountability weigh-in, so I'm just gonna have a great Saturday night and I'm not gonna track. Come Monday morning, the scale might not be a friend to you. For so many reasons. You're not restricted, so you shouldn't give yourself that cheat meal, cheat day leeway. You don't need it. There's no reason to reward yourself with food if you're already getting to eat all the food that you want. That's pretty much it. If you're going out with friends and you're having drinks, log the drinks. Remember, things that we do social are to be with the people. It's not for the food. When we have holidays, when we go to parties, you're invited to a party because they want you to be at the party. They don't want you there to eat their, I mean, the food's there, but you're not going for the food. So you have to get yourself out of that mindset. You're going to spend time with family. You're going to spend time with friends. The food, the alcohol is just a secondary to what you're doing. All right, let me make sure I got all my questions in. Hold on one second. Someone asked me about fasting. You know, I have no yay or nay about intermittent fasting. It's just a way of timing your food. It's not a way of losing weight. So if you're intermittent fasting, you still have to get in the same amount of macros that you're going to get in a 12-hour time versus a 6-hour time or an 8-hour window. Unless you are competing for something or you can only do your cardio in the morning first thing. Now I'm not talking weightlifting, but cardio first thing in the morning, then I wouldn't, it's not important about intermittent fasting. Logging workouts, strength training. I'm not sure what that question is, but we already talked about it in a different meeting. When you're logging cooked or uncooked meat, you can find the item line for that. It'll say grilled chicken breast, raw chicken breast, grilled shrimp, raw shrimp. So those are the ones that you're going to look for the entries of, depending on what you're doing. All right. Does anybody have any questions that I did not answer that for those that are on? Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
So I was reading in the app that salmon is high fat, avocado is high fat. I've heard, Adik, that isn't avocado like a good fat?
Okay, so yes, thank you for asking that question. I actually talked about it in the meeting on Wednesday. But fats are fats. So avocado, salmon, those are good fats in terms of nutrition. Omegas, you know, they have those that you need for health reasons. But when you're talking in terms of macros, we're talking carbs, fats, proteins, they're the higher fat or a higher number of fats. That doesn't mean you can't have it. You just can't have 4 tablespoons of it. You can have a tablespoon of avocado or 4 ounces of salmon. You can have 8 ounces of salmon if you didn't have any fat for the day. So it's still okay. They're just higher in that number.
Okay.
And yeah, they're good for you, but that just because something is good for you doesn't mean it's going to help you lose weight.
Right. You just have to monitor. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just have to monitor the portions.
Yeah. Watch your budget.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Same with branzino and mackerel and sea bass. Those are all fatty fishes, but they have other qualities that are good for you. So you just have to watch your intake.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other questions? Lori, you look like you're thinking of a question. You're looking at your app?
I was just trying to figure, I'm doing my alcohol for tonight. So I was trying to figure,
That's so funny.
doing the math in my head. Sorry.
For your brewery.
Yes.
Um,
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
And then I probably won't even have a drink now that I'm so like confused about the whole thing.
So I gave
Not
up
confused,
alcohol.
but
I'll help you figure that out. But I gave up alcohol September 12th. I haven't had any alcohol. And we went on really 14-day Alaska cruise. I drank too much. Came back and I was like, okay, I'm done. Every Friday night, I tell Mike, I'm going to have a glass of wine at dinner tonight. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, I'm gonna have a glass of wine. We go and I never have it.
Right.
You
I heard
get
you say
set-
that the other night,
have
and I think
goals.
that that's where my head is.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, like I said, I've tracked it. I've had the wine, I've had the Tito's, I mean, I'm going to go back to drinking. I'm trying not to drink until my 50th birthday, honestly.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but drink. I mean, if that's what you like to do, don't stop yourself from doing it. If that is your lifestyle, don't stop yourself, because that's not your goal, is not to get on stage and compete. Your goal is to be a healthier version of Lori. So you don't want to change Lori, because Lori likes to go out with her friends, and then you like to have a glass of wine or a draft beer or whatever it is you drink. And I don't want you to say, oh, hey, Shannon, I can't go out with you tonight because I'm on a diet. I don't want to be in that situation, because I want you
Right.
guys to live your life the way you've always lived your life. You're just learning how to live it a better way, better habits.
Okay. I also wrote to you. I just want to make sure
Oh.
tomorrow morning is still at 8, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah,
there
so
is
the
a
boot
time
camp
change.
is at 8 regular,
Okay.
with the time change, whatever it is, whatever it says on your clock is 8 o'clock.
Okay. I will be there.
If anybody lives wants to come to Lake Worth, Florida, I mean, I don't know where you guys are all living, but I do a boot camp, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning inside Winston Trails. You do not have to be a resident. You do not have to be a member of the community or anything, or the gym or anything. So, yeah, you're more than welcome to come. It's only 30 minutes. It goes fast, but it's hot out. It won't be too hot out tomorrow because it'll really be 7 o'clock.
Right.
So it'll be nice. And then we do it Mondays at 6 p.m. too.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come on to the Zoom. It is recorded. I am going to add it on once it goes through its whole processing. I'll put it in the YouTube channel. And if you have any other questions, send them my way. Our regular meeting is Wednesday night, 7:15 p.m. Not only on Monday nights do we do the boot camp, I do the boot camp, but at 7:15 p.m., I'll come straight home from the boot camp and I go right in and we do a band, resistance bands workout. So Lori, I don't have your shirt because I just ordered the shirts, but I have your resistance bands. I'll bring them with me to the park tomorrow, to the boot camp tomorrow.
Perfect.
So you'll have
Great.
them Monday night in case you want to go from one workout to the next. Or
Okay.
just have them. And if
Great.
anybody else wants to order tank tops or bands or anything, please message me. The tank tops, I think I'm picking them up on Tuesday. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you again this coming week. Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.